Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the RSL Show on KSL Sports. I'm Andy, that's Josh, that's Alex, and that's Isaac. What's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
She's so great.
How's it going? He's already yawning.
Yeah, he's yawning. He's done. We did a cool episode before this, so we're going to recap the results. Nice pose there, Josh.
Just getting comfortable.
Way to sit there. Nice shirt. Did you wear this shirt for the previous interview?
No, I just hadn't changed from work.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Real Salt Lake's performance.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, did anyone expect any different?
Well, and no.
Did you?
No, because on our what's it called? Predictions or whatever, we both said it was going to be a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have a quote-unquote good record in Seattle the last couple matches.
2 years.
But it's not to say they were good matches, right?
Right.
Seattle seems to have found the Seattle way. Mm-hmm. We saw that with what they did against Colorado, who is still a bad team, right? We're 2 goals better than them, but I wasn't wholly impressed with what I saw in Vancouver, especially on the turf pitch, and I didn't really expect anything different or better in Seattle. If I'm being completely honest, it's not to say we're going to have a bad year or anything like that, but I just did not expect a result for us. The one I'm really looking forward to is obviously the home opener, to see how we perform at home. That's going to be the bigger tell, but just not surprised at our performance in Seattle. And honestly, seeing Julio, in the lineup as the striker again, it's demoralizing, man.
No, and I think this past Saturday's game against Seattle, I think it was more of a testament to where Seattle is at versus where we're at, because obviously we saw the same issues that we saw in Vancouver come up again in Seattle, and it's definitely like game 2 type issues. Seattle looks like they're a team that's already in mid-season form.
It makes no sense, but you're completely right. They look like they've been playing in CONCACAF.
Right.
It's like the opposite happened, right? In CONCACAF last year, when they should have been in quote-unquote mid-season form, they looked horrible in MLS play. But now that they're not, they look great. It's perplexing. But good for them.
Right, and we definitely know what we need to work on, and I believe a lot of our issues stem from that midfield. I don't know if it's different. Pablo expects them to do different things in the midfield this year compared to what last year. I don't know how much Ruiz's absence has to do with that. I don't know how much Jasper's absence had to do with that, but it's the same issues that we saw in Vancouver just continue to pop up against Seattle, and Seattle just picked it apart the entire game.
Absolutely, and again, I'm not seeing. I don't want to start slander already, but I'm not seeing RSL make adjustments.
Right.
Throughout the entire match, it feels like we've picked our game plan and we're sticking through that game plan through hell or high water.
Yeah.
And that's concerning.
What else did Real Salt Lake get wrong in Seattle? What do you think?
I think it's very apparent that Seattle uses the wings to attack a lot. That Roldan brother link up is phenomenal. Alex and Christian Roldan, they're 2 really, really good players, and I think I don't think we defended that wing as well as we probably should have, and I think that a lot has to do with throwing in Caldwell into that position, because and not that Caldwell had a bad game or anything, because I don't think he did that bad, but just the speed and the cover on that wing is kind of what got us. Both those crosses came in from Alex Roldan to set up the goals, and I think, I don't know, I just want to say in a position where Pablo Ruiz is probably there, has a little bit more speed, can probably close that flank down a little bit more. Maybe it's a different result, but at the same time, it's something that you knew was coming. It's something that you knew Christian and Alex Roldan were going to be there, but I don't feel like we really adjusted to that.
Or I don't know, maybe don't send both of your right and left back bombing down the field.
The
entire
too.
match for that, right? Again, adjustments. Sure, that might be the way you want to play, but sometimes you have to adjust to your opponent, especially on their home field. And
we came out swinging very well. I think the first 10 minutes of the match, we came out on the front foot, and it seemed like we were going to have a good game. But then it's Seattle who made the adjustments that needed to be made. They adjusted to how RSL was playing, and then after that, RSL couldn't hit on the transition. They couldn't get out. It was just bombard after bombard of Seattle attacks, and we didn't really do anything to adjust to that.
Right, and again, just like in Vancouver, I feel like we have a hard time breaking from the pressure when we're under an attack like that, right? we have a hard time, controlling the ball when we intercept a pass or a cross, and we can't seem to break free from that. It's like once we're under a press, we're stuck under that press until there's a foul or, the ball goes up for a goal kick, etc.
Yeah, and that's a lot on the defensive end, and I think on the offensive end, we need to work a lot more in transitioning from defense to attack. And I think we just didn't see enough balls get played to Savarino. We didn't see enough balls get played to Damir. That connection between the midfield and the forwards, going from defense to midfield to forward, it just isn't there right now.
So, hypothetical, Damir missed all of last year, right?
Yeah.
Are we struggling to adjust to life with Damir again?
I think so. I want to say that's what it is, because he was kind of just... Damir was super invisible the entire time, and I don't know if it's just the different cohesive in the midfield with him being there, having a different role than, say, Savarino had last year when he was playing that position. I think that might be it. I think they just need to get used to Ojeda. Like, let's say, for example, Ojeda having that 6 role, and then Ruiz having that 8 role, and then Damir having that 10 role, and just have that cohesiveness in the midfield, because right now it just seems very miscommunication.
Right.
Miscommunicated.
Guys don't seem to be where they need to be, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think Ojeda is trying to free roam a little too much in trying to take that what usually Pablo Ruiz does.
Right.
And I don't know if that's going to be the best position for him, because he just seems a little bit lost in that.
Sure. He needs to be the more defensive guy.
Mm-hmm.
But until Ruiz comes back, right? Obviously, you're not going to have Caldwell be the offensive guy, right? Caldwell's going to sit back, but we just need Ruiz back, and we need Lawful send off suspension.
Yeah, there's no connection right now between the midfield and either the defense and the midfield and the forwards.
Well, it seems like this has been an issue for years.
So
anyway,
so the first half, Seattle Sounders go up 1-0. 35th minute, header to Jordan Morris, which I absolutely hate.
Dude,
the home run from hell.
You know what, Andy? I dislike him more than Wando.
Really?
I think I do. I don't know why.
That's so weird that you hate one of the highest goal scoring, or probably most goal scoring forward attackers ever in the league.
Because they all came against RSL, dog.
Wando.
Because they all came against RSL.
Are you a Wondolowski fan, Alex?
I liked him.
I like him. I love him.
I
You?
him.
Do you like Wando?
I'm indifferent, honestly.
Okay.
He's all right.
All right. That's what someone who doesn't know Wondolowski would. Yeah, I guess so. He's a good guy.
He was a good player, I guess.
He seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah. So Jordan Morris, 35th minute, just gets his head on it, and I hate that the goals come from Jordan Morris against Real Salt Lake. It seems like frequently.
Well, and then on that goal, it just bad defending all around.
Yeah,
just right in between two defenders, between Brody and Glad. Like, no one's picking him up, and they're not marking anybody else.
Did you guys see the who was it? Was it Matt Doyle that tweeted the video and said it was like beautiful soccer, the play leading up to it?
Mm-hmm.
I have to disagree, because it was like a deflection back out to the wing, and then it was a kick in. Like, it wasn't.
I think he was more talking about the 40 passes leading up to the goal.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's talking about that, but it's like, I mean, at some point it was a deflection.
It's national media, dude. They're gonna ooze all over.
Yeah,
Seattle's LA's.
Ooze and ahs. Yeah. 59th minute. So going into the second, we see Anderson Julio and Michael Chang be pulled off, and in substitution comes in Rubio Rubin and Carlos Gomez. Michael Chang, we still liking what we seeing?
I think with Gomez having more time in this one, I liked what we saw a lot more from him in this one compared to what we saw from him in Vancouver. I think the first 5, 10, 15 minutes he was on the field, he still needed time to adjust. He was still kind of running all over the place like he did in Vancouver, looked a little bit lost. But then once he really settled into the game, I think we got glimpses of what an exciting player he can be. He had there's this really specific give and go that he had with Savarino that put him in on goal. Unfortunately, Seattle collapsed on him defensively, but it's still it gives me hope. It gives me hope to what he can be.
He's going to have himself a game on Saturday.
I hope so.
Unless it's snowing, that might freak him out. But
yeah,
he's going to have himself a game.
Well, and what's funny and interesting is because you were talking about it, Josh, like the tactical changes or the calls on the substitutions, I saw a glimpse of Real Salt Lake where I was starting to get excited because you would see more attacking opportunities.
Sure.
Getting around that 70th minute, right? But then in the 72nd minute, Scott Caldwell is pulled off, whatever. Damir Kreilach gets pulled off, which I really felt like there was a goal in this one for him. And then you put in Diego Luna, which I agree with it, but I think the timing just wasn't the right time. But also, like, I know if they would have put him in like the 83rd, I'd be like, oh, you brought him in too late.
Right. It's a damned if you do, damned if you
Yeah.
don't, right?
And then the other one, Justin Muir. I just want to toss that in there.
Yeah.
But what were you guys' thoughts kind of on that early substitution? I would say at 70 seconds, still pretty early. And like I said,
not,
the
though.
attack was feeling like there was an actual build-up, like kind of finding a groove, and then you pull a key piece, a key player, Demir.
It was weird to pull Demir in this one and not in Vancouver, right? That's what weirded me out. And when I talk about tactical, adjustments, it's mainly the wingbacks getting overrun and not fixing that issue, right? And putting on more attacking players doesn't fix that issue, but we are also down goals, so it's fine. But maybe have Brody or Oviedo stay home a little more. Yeah, I'm happy Luna gets minutes, right? There was some controversy from some Pablo comments, about Luna and Rubin coming back. Didn't really warm anyone's heart, right? Didn't give anyone the fuzzies.
So do we think, let's be realistic, Real Salt Lake, do you think they just kind of went into this like, hey, we're going to lose this, we're going to go down?
This is absolutely a game where it was, if we can get a point, dope, but dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those. There's a few of those every year.
Yeah.
If this game would have been 6 weeks from now, I would have fully anticipated like some heavy squad rotation.
Who went down? There was a team that went down. I think it was almost like 4-0 or 5-0. Do we remember the score lines? There was one team. I think. I want to say it's like SKC went down.
No, that was 0-0.
Yeah, 0-0.
Colorado.
Oh, really?
0-0.
Yeah, it's a nice result for those two.
My bad. Let me go back and look.
An absolute crap at fest.
There was a team that kind of went in this and just kind of hunkered down, and I think they went down like 3 goals. It was like 3-0, and then they pulled off the attacking players and added more defense.
So it was us in the playoffs last year. Against
pretty
Austin.
much. I mean, it's because at that point you got to start thinking about like goal differential and how could that affect you in the future if you go down 5-0 if there's teams pulling you.
Portland.
Was it Portland?
It was Portland, and then surprisingly enough, Portland almost came back.
Yeah,
Even with all those defensive substitutions.
That's right, dude. Because I think LAFC got 3 up on them, and then they came back 3-2.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So weird, man. It's like they kind of bunkered in and then they pulled goals out.
LAFC is going to be a weird team this year, at least until summer, because they're still very good, but they're nowhere near as deep as they were last year.
Definitely not. And we've kind of already seen it early on to start in their first game, where they started making adjustments, they started making the substitutions, and then all of a sudden Portland starts clawing back into it.
Yeah. New England, let's just go the score lines over the weekend. So Red Bulls Nashville tie 0-0. New England 3 up on the Houston Dynamo. Dude, Houston
Dynamo's
is just like
bad,
Houston's
bro.
bad.
They should just move that team.
And it's surprising because they've made so many good signings on paper.
Yeah, but they hired Ben Olsen.
And that's exactly where I was going with that.
No,
Ben
man.
Olsen, I don't think just Ben Olsen is an MLS level coach.
Yeah. There was a goal from Barrero on New England, and then
Nice goal.
There's another goal by a player named Bird, which I think was his, I don't want to say his debut, but I think it was like his first goal, probably for the Revs.
No Bobby Wood bangers.
I think did Bobby
Actually,
Wood? I think
yeah,
he got
he
one.
did. He did.
he bag
He
another
did.
one?
Yeah, he got a goal.
Nice little tap-in.
Yeah,
Yep.
he got the first goal.
He's got
That-
2 goals in 2
It's going to be 2 out of his 6 until he pulls his hamstring 7 times.
I don't know, man. Players
You
go
never
and
know.
perform. Orlando City, Cincinnati 0s. Atlanta United and Toronto FC 1-1 full time. I'm trying to remember the highlights from that.
Man, so MLS 360 this week was pretty boring.
It was. It did get boring towards the tail end of the
Yeah.
matches. Columbus 2-0 on DC. I believe Lucas De La Rayon got one
Bangers.
back. Or 2. Did he have a brace?
He had both, yeah. He got
Very
both, and they
nice.
were very nice goals.
Inter Miami. Dude, this is surprising. Inter Miami
absolutely.
over Union?
Absolutely. And the crazy part about that game, too, was that Inter Miami played a good game, which
Well,
is something we don't see from Miami.
Did Union rest for CONCACAF? Then?
No. Union
Okay.
was pretty much full strength.
And I think I don't know if this is correct, but they've got a new like French player on Inter Miami, Quarantine Jean.
Yeah.
Quarantine Jean. He got the first goal
And it was a
for
banger.
them. Inter Miami. I mean, dude, you got to think like, you know, the Messi rumors always seem to kind of surface. And,
Sure.
they're like always come back, and even though they've been shot down or whatever, but those are still in play. But I think that's a club, like a sleeper club, that eventually they're going to have like a clean
Eventually,
roster,
yeah, eventually
like a
they'll be
stacked
good.
roster.
Once they get their own stadium, kind of settle in, they'll be something.
Well, then there's no more roster restraints on them because they couldn't
Yeah, they got in trouble.
they only could do so much because they got in trouble. But now I think this year is the first year where they can really start to build because they don't have the league on them.
Yeah, we'll see. That club, I think, is forever going to be a head scratcher. I think they might always be like there and spending the money, but never like getting across the line. I could see them being that club, right?
Yep. Chicago versus NYCFC 1-1. Pereira. I feel like there's a stat behind it. I don't think it's that Pereira. I think there's a different Pereira that like got a scoring or no. I think it's one in the league got 100 appearances over the weekend. I'm trying to think who
I
it
got
is.
one. I got one for you.
What was the stat?
So you know how RSL is 14 undefeated in season openers?
Yeah.
Colorado hasn't won, or Chicago Fire haven't won in 14 years.
Woof.
Woof.
How about St. Louis, man?
Dude,
St. Louis 3-1 scoreline over
So-
Charlotte FC.
So are we good, or are we just having a good couple games? Like, if you're a St. Louis fan, be wary, right? Like, this is a great start, but probably pump the brakes on your MLS Cup dreams.
No, for sure. I don't think they're at that level yet. I think they still need to play, obviously, the LAFCs, the Seattles, and
But you know what
all
always
the good
happens
teams.
is like the
Stop getting
debut.
these pass back goals.
But the
Yeah.
debut year, I feel like debut year teams will get far, lose, and then they come back the second year and like we'll win a cup.
Just the last couple years, they've had a couple strong openers, right? But I mean, FC Cincinnati wasn't one, Inter Miami wasn't one, Charlotte wasn't one. So you're just thinking about LAFC here and Atlanta. Those are the
Atlanta,
only
yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Those are only the two that kind of broke out early and stayed high. Everyone else still has their
Usually-
tribulations. And
usually
trials.
the expansion teams they don't do very well in the year, and let alone have 6 points to start the year.
Sure.
We're just in that sense, like, hey, congratulations, St. Louis,
Yeah.
because I don't think anybody expected it.
They've built a decent roster apparently with a bunch of names no one's ever heard.
Yeah.
You never
good
know,
for
man.
them.
They
Yeah.
might run away with it, dude. Who knows? Austin, Montreal 1-0. But the biggest headline today, that time of recording, Tuesday, Austin FC trashed
Getting worked by a
Crap fest.
Haitian club.
3-0.
To be fair, I think so. Looking at the lineup, I think they went in with way too much confidence. They looked at this team, they're like, "Oh, it's just a throwaway team from Haiti. We're just going to go out there, hopefully walk out there with some kind of decent result to bring back to the second leg." But 3-0, dude.
That's bad, bro.
3-0. No Driussi, no stars in their lineup. I think they, like I said, I think they just walked in there with way too much confidence.
That'll get you.
I don't get it.
Dude, how embarrassing.
Funny,
if any clubs need to be humbled, fan bases, I think it's
Austin's
Austin.
one of
I mean,
them.
I like Austin, like that fan base. They're great, but also it's like chill. You know,
Right, you're still the new guys on the
You
block.
got Matthew McConaughey, just chill.
Which also kind of sucks now because on Saturday they're probably going to come full strength here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They got something to prove now, huh?
Yeah.
FC Dallas versus Galaxy, 3-1 over the Galaxy.
So
Jesus Ferreira with a brace. Too bad he couldn't do anything in the World Cup, bro. I was really rooting for him.
You want to
man.
laugh at the power rankings, dude. LA Galaxy is sitting at near the bottom of the Western Conference, but still like number 11 in the power rankings.
To be fair, they've only had one game.
I don't care.
It's their first game.
I don't care.
However,
To be fair,
you're up 1-0 on the road in Dallas, and then you just absolutely get smacked by Jesus Ferreira.
You shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be 11.
number 11.
Yeah, you shouldn't be 11.
Yeah.
Colorado. Oh, this makes me happy. Colorado and SKC
0-0.
zeros. Take the tie.
Couldn't be any better scoreline for that game.
Boring, bro.
Colorado scored twice in that one.
Bro, you got to feel it for Cavincio, bro. Just this team is trash.
I mean,
Cavincio. How do you say his name?
I don't want
Cavincio.
to, talk too much about that because we might be right there with him.
We might be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. San Jose over Vancouver, 2-1. Whatever. No one cares. And then, yeah, Seattle Sounders, dude, 2-0 over Real Salt Lake. And not to mention, by the way, a fan at the Ars allegedly... Okay, we're just going to read the Facebook post that we tweeted. We literally just tweeted. We didn't say, hey, this didn't happen or it did happen.
Yeah, just spreading the word.
But why
The
would
good
you
word.
lie about this? Also, some trash takes from a lot of fans on the Sounders side, but let's just discuss it. If you're not in the loop, we shared a post on the RSL show, and it's a fan talking about their experience in Seattle and something that had happened. It sounds like it was on the way to the match or something. Okay, let's read it. So this fan wrote in a post on Facebook, so I just wanted to post this here as a warning to whoever is attending the Seattle game tonight. My husband and I were walking from the streetcar to the stadium with our Utah flag and became enveloped by the Supporters Club march. A man whom I regrettably did not take a picture of attacked my husband, saying that he needed to get rid of his Utah flag or he would assault him. He then grabbed my husband by the throat and choked him. This wasn't a casual, in quotes, I'm just playing, end quote, kind of choke. This was an I want to seriously injure you kind of choke, which went on for at least a minute. Another Sounders fan intervened and told us that the guy was just passionate and that we shouldn't have been interrupting their march. To be clear, we were just two people with a Utah flag, not shouting or chanting, just walking. To top it all off, our Utah flag was confiscated at the gate. So yeah, F Seattle, and I really hope someone faces some kind of consequence for this absolutely insane, unprovoked attack.
Yeah.
Now, hang on. Before you guys weigh in, for context, this post on Twitter has just, like, dude, I've been opening Twitter, and it's just nothing but just notifications. So far, 35,000 views on it, 145 likes, 19 quotes, 23 retweets. But also, a lot of, like, Sounders fans or people just kind of coming to... I guess like in defense of their supporters, because they're like saying things like, well, you shouldn't be marching next to us, or you shouldn't be getting in our way, or other things like, show us the video proof. It's like the highly most video recorded photograph. Like, you got to have a photograph or a video, like you're full of crap basically. And I don't know, that just doesn't sit well with me.
You know, for being as progressive of a fan base as Seattle claims, they sure are using a lot of like old excuse type things that,
where's the video?
right, proof or didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
And like for me,
Why would
this kind of stuff happens all over, right? Like, you have to admit that I've seen it happen here. I've had knives pulled me in San Jose and Colorado, right? Like, this happens everywhere. But to just discount it is what I have a problem, right? You, as a fan base and a community, we have to police ourselves in a lot of ways, right? So for Seattle fans to just say, "Oh no, we're holier than thou and this couldn't have happened," is wrong, right?
Yeah.
Purely. Like, I know plenty of people that have been accosted in Seattle. It's a thing. So you gotta take into consideration that you can have a shitty fan. B, the fact that they choked him for over a minute, like,
That sounds a little
exaggerated, but it was probably
felt like a minute.
Probably felt like a minute, right?
10
In the
seconds.
moment, that's a long time. Being choked for any amount of time is a long time.
Yeah.
He's lucky they didn't have more friends there that would have knocked the dude out, right? Like, that could escalate very quickly if you've seen in other stadiums. Was it LAFC the guy had some brawls a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
So like it's just ridiculous that it even happened. But what's more ridiculous is that they're excusing it,
Yeah.
right? And saying, "Oh, you shouldn't interrupt our march, dude. Your march takes up the whole damn street." If you have two away fans that don't know what's going on, I don't know. Maybe let them know. Someone from march say, "Hey,
You may not want to be here right now.
You might want to just wait till this passes." You know,
Yeah.
You gotta do better. You can't just expect someone to know, "Oh, you're in Seattle. This is our march. You should just know." You're not that special.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're not that special.
Well, the other thing too, like somebody came out and was like, "Well, you should know the stadium policies. You can't bring flags in here." So you're probably just upset that they took your flag and made up this story.
No,
why,
bro.
why would you make up a story like
over a
this?
flag? No. Yeah, no.
And hang on, why is what I want to know? Was it a Utah State flag? Was it a Real Salt Lake flag?
Right.
Why is it a Utah flag? Listen, I'm not making light of the situation. It sucks that this happened to you. I fully believe you that it happened. But the other consensus too, are like the other statements that have been made. Oh, well, it's highly photographed and highly videographed. It's like, dude, you're not going to have a camera pointed, especially at a crowd, in every single nook and cranny.
Yeah.
Like, this could happen. And to kind of fall behind that and say, well, there's no video proof.
Right, it's
you're full of
ridiculous.
crap. Like, it's so stupid.
And to just say he's just a passionate fan, he's a passionate fan with anger issues. my guy.
passionate douchebag, dude.
Right. Get those anger issues under control. I'm a passionate fan, and I've never once thought about
Choking
someone out because they had a scarf or a flag. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. This is our street.
yeah.
Stupid, man.
Like, stop watching Green Street Hooligans, right? Stop daydreaming about being in a firm. Get over yourself. Be a normal human. Mr. Seattle.
Yeah. Seattle. Can we just do the chant for a sec? What do they say?
Seattle Sounders.
Seattle.
They just say it back and forth to each other like it's the most original thing.
Oh,
on
the win and
planet.
fight is what I'm thinking.
Dude,
Fight and win.
let's be honest.
The Golem fan? Yeah.
Let's be honest. 99% of these chants are stupid for every club.
Yeah.
Nothing's that original or that cool.
Yeah. The RSL fan, listen.
I hope you guys are okay, and I hope this doesn't dissuade
Yeah.
you from going to away matches.
Because
at
they're not all like that.
No. I've had, I mean, honestly, the best experience I've had with away fans, this hurts my soul to say this, Kansas City.
Oh, boy.
I'm not even joking, dude. After the final, they see me and Bean just being depressed in the stands and get us drunk, dude. Like,
They were like, hey, good game, guys.
they brought us down. They have a club, like a nightclub in the stadium,
Oh.
and like bar. It was dope.
That's
so they
cool.
brought us in there with them. Like, they're celebrating, but they're buying us beers, and we stayed until they brought the cup in
that's
with
nice.
Colin. Like, they were great to us.
Yeah.
Right? I hate them on Twitter, and I hate SKC, but like, their fans were great, and I'll fully admit that. Other places, not so great. LA, the Galaxy, I've hung out with their supporters groups.
Yeah, they're
before
cool.
gathing. They're great.
Yep. You walk
San
around,
Jose, the
bro,
worst.
When you
The
walk
absolute
around,
worst.
When you walk around the Galaxy lot, it's like, hey, Holmes, what jersey is that for? The Galaxy, hey. You think I'm kidding, man? It's true. To that point, when I went and filmed when I went and shot the Western Cup, no, was it the Western Final? What was the game? Oh, when we knocked him out.
AFC?
No, Seattle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was there and I was like filming on the Sounders supporter side, and one of the security guards was like, because I was sitting at my camera, and she's like, "Oh, where are you from?" And this was like before the supporters got in, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm from Utah. I'm like, I'm here filming for KSL, whatever, yada yada." And she's like, "Oh," she's like, "Do not let these guys find out. Like, if they find out, they will like it'll get violent and weird." So I'm
Well,
like,
like,
what?
That's so silly. Like,
The
verbal
supporter
abuse,
side.
fine.
Yeah.
Like, we're no different. But to say it's going to get violent, like
Yeah.
you're going to jump the
You're gonna come
barricade and
beat me
beat
up.
you up,
No,
like,
and
get
then
out of
take
here.
my
But
camera.
towards the camera, man.
Get out
I know.
of here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What?
So
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
dude.
it's I think it's a cool stadium. It's probably a cool place to go, but
It's a football stadium, dude. It's not that cool.
yeah, that's true. Portland Timbers is definitely my favorite like Northwest team.
Yeah.
I take the Timbers way more seriously than I do the Sounders. And I've been to the Timbers Stadium, and those guys are actually pretty hospitable.
Yeah,
I was having beers
they're
with
fine.
Timbers fans.
Yeah, they're fine.
Oh, and I love that there's Timbers fans in this thread, like just calling out the Seattle trash, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right.
They're just being high and mighty, dude.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
Listen to the guy that choked the poor fan out.
Don't come to Salt Lake. You're not welcome, dude.
Be better.
Yeah.
Be better. Yeah.
Be a better human, bro.
Be better.
And don't come to Salt Lake. You're not welcome.
Yeah, I'm sure he was going to listen to this. Yeah.
I hope he does. I hope he tweets at me and exposes himself. Not in that way.
Well, it's
but,
not
you
a
know.
real.
Yeah.
It's not a real person. Remember, it never happened.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's not on camera.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, so frustrating, man. Anyways, yeah. So listen, we took the L 2-0, but I think
Yep.
the fans, well, that fan took the even bigger L, and the fans that are defending those actions and just being like, "Well, where's the video
Dude,
proof?"
those
you
are the
also
same
took an
fans.
L.
Those are the same fans that would come after us for Deloy and say, you guys need to do better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're high and mighty.
yeah.
They can't do anything wrong, but everyone else can.
Dude, I hope this like just formulates like a stronger rivalry. You know what I mean? Like the
dude,
Rapids, bro, we wrote them off years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I still hate them, but they're nothing to me. They're the little brother.
Yeah.
They're the annoying little brother that like kicks your shins. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah, not the result that we wanted, but Real Salt Lake looking up and forward to the next foe, which is Austin FC, which I think, you know, it could go both ways. You already know what I'm going to say. Fresh off some losses, the fan base. I think the fan base for Austin FC is like kind of in shambles. Like when you go on Twitter and you see what they're saying, like they're very confused, they're very lost. So that could maybe be a good sign for us, but also to Josh's point and to Alex's point and to Isaac's point, they might come in and just pull out all the stops and be like, "Yo, we got to just stop messing around and let's take it to Real Salt Lake."
But at the same time, home opener, hopefully a good crowd. It's probably going to snow. It's going to be a miserable game. They always are the first of the year, right? So that gives us an automatic edge, right?
For sure. No, Arsenal doesn't lose with Orange Ball.
Knock on wood, bro.
Knock on wood. Cool. So how's the squad looking? We got the suspension. Luffelsend will be out.
No, he only got one game.
Oh, yeah, it got
so he's
appealed.
back for this game.
Really?
Yeah, he only got one
thought it
game,
was
so
two.
Seattle
It got
only.
appealed pending if he is a good boy for the rest of the year.
What?
Yeah, they might tack like if he
They'll tack on
if
more?
he starts picking up some stuff or spits on someone.
All right, let's talk about it.
you
So
know.
Luffelsend does a tackle, gets a yellow card. That's it. And then somebody on the Vancouver side gets a better angle or clips an angle of their TV, and it's showing Luffelsend allegedly spitting towards the player that he had tackled.
Yeah.
When I see the video, he spit, but I don't really think he intended on spitting on him. He fouls him, he gets up, he realizes what he did, he went to go check on the player, like helps him up or whatever.
Right, someone that spits on someone's not going to do that.
No.
And that Vancouver player, had he been spit on, is in Jasper's face pissed off.
Yeah.
That becomes a thing, right? You don't get spit on and don't.
Yeah,
You
but
don't
also,
react.
but I guess like the timing of that too. Is
The timing looks horrible. The angle looks horrible. I don't see Jasper as the guy to spit on someone.
Jasper is not. He's not that guy. He's
No.
not gonna. He's not gonna spit on people, bro. He's a class. I think he's a class act.
Yeah, he's no Espinoza. Espindola would have done it too. Let's be real.
Yes.
Yeah. No, he's he's a great player. Respects the league. Probably an accident. Looks
It's
different from what it was.
It's unfortunate.
I'd like to hear from Luffelsend. Maybe someday we'll ask him about it. We'll say, "Hey, dude, are you intentionally spitting on people? Is that what you do,
Right.
or was it an accident?"
Is this the great spit of Seinfeld? Right.
Yeah.
With the deflection.
Yeah.
Right?
So I don't think his character's in question.
No.
I just think it's the bad luck of the draw, bro. You happen to spit at the wrong time. There's cameras everywhere. Just be a little bit more careful.
Unfortunate all the way around.
I had the opportunity to talk to Pablo earlier this week, and he mentioned that immediately after the game, immediately after the video surfaced, the first person Jasper called was Dejome, the player he allegedly spit on. Apologized, hashed it out, had a good conversation about it over the phone, and everything was good. And that was part of the appeal. That was part of the appeal to say, "Hey, we talked about it. It's not intentional. Like it was no harm meant. Like was meant to be done."
Yeah.
And that was part of the appeal.
Got you. Huh. Interesting. So let's just go around the room. Is Jasper Luffelsend a bad guy, Josh? Yes or no?
What kind of question is that?
Is he a bad guy? Does he spit on people?
No.
Alex?
No, not at all.
Isaac?
No.
I would say no. I don't think he's a bad guy. So just just one of those weird things. Footage comes out, and he owned up to it, and he
Did he even
held his peace.
He owned up to he spit, but he didn't say he spit on him
Yeah,
because he didn't like.
yeah. I just want to ask him. I want to ask him that question directly.
I think league precedence says that if any of the spit touches the player, automatic suspension.
Sure, which I do understand.
And I think that's why we're even having this conversation, is because just a little bit of it got on Dejome's cleats. The league found out. The league went off precedence.
But
That's it.
they won't
That's it.
enforce the hands to the face precedent.
That's right. No,
It's fine.
and we see it
fine.
over and over and over and over again in this league where the rules only apply to some players. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Am I wrong? It only applies to some players. It only comes down to us and Jasper getting suspended because it's Jasper Lawfelson and he's from RSL.
Hey, bro, careful how you talk to the league, okay?
Yeah, dude.
Careful, bro.
Andy has to say that because he works for him.
That's it. I'll get off my.
Hey, man, if you believe in what you just said, go watch. There's a documentary on Netflix, I believe. It's about the NBA, kind of giving favoritism to the players. It's about a corrupt referee.
Yeah.
But it's true, man. It's listen, like, your big star players. Those are the dudes who are putting the butts in seats, right? So if you're a referee sticking true to those decisions and you're just red carding everybody, well, then you're potentially pulling a Carlos Vela, you're pulling a Chicharito away from like a home crowd at the next match. And unfortunately, those are the kinds of players that sell tickets and jerseys. So you gotta, this isn't, I'm nobody. I'm just saying that I think across all leagues, basketball, NBA, hockey, baseball,
The bias is all over.
it's going to be there. You're going to get some flexibility. And in that documentary that I watched, which I would love to just get you guys the name. You guys got to watch it. It's about the dude who was like inside betting. He was a referee in the NBA.
Oh yeah.
It's just a very real thing.
Either.
Yeah. So it's just going to happen. You know what I mean? So, Jasper, you're not a bad dude, man. Relax. Okay.
Final thoughts on Austin?
Final thoughts on Austin. Austin FC coming to town. The country of Austin FC. And obviously that's a joke. The country of Austin FC is in shambles right now. The team is not playing well. The citizens of Austin FC are about to jump ship, right? Like, there's plenty of different teams in Texas. Hear me out. The morale is low. Things aren't going well for them. They lost their home opener, right?
They did.
They did.
To St. Louis.
They're a new team, man, and they haven't had to deal with
The heartbreak.
yet. So this is all very new for them.
Yeah, man. So it's just a test of how are they going to come into this game, and are they going to show up? And honestly, I think the favor is in Real Salt Lake. We play at this altitude. We own the snow. We freaking invented the snow and the altitude in Salt Lake City. We drive through snowstorms. Like, I remember that big snowstorm we had
Like 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago,
I was
bro.
digging cars out.
Dude,
It was great.
I dug myself out, got stuck, dug myself out, just to go get a coffee at the gas station and come back.
Do you know
what I
how to
mean?
put your Jeep in 4-wheel drive?
It was struggling, bro. That was that deep. It was that deep. So, shut up, dude. So what I'm saying is, we live on the west side, bro. The last priority. Okay, you live on the east side,
Dude.
They come and do yours.
I had to be to
first,
work
bro.
at 6 a.m. They didn't touch any of this.
All right.
I opened my car door and pushed snow.
Okay, so listen, we're just having a competition about who's more
No,
Utah right
I
now.
think you just didn't put your Jeep in 4-wheel drive.
It wasn't 4-wheel drive, bro. I got stuck, and then I had
My
to like
Subaru
do
didn't get
different
stuck. How'd
modes.
you get stuck? You're higher than me.
Dude, the snow out there is crazy.
Maybe you need new tires.
Probably. Anyway, we're on the same team, Josh.
Yeah, we're on the same team. We invented snow.
We invented
We
the
both
snow.
got stuck.
So Austin's going to come here and they're going
Freeze.
to freeze. And
Driussi's going to hate it.
Driussi's going to hate it because he's used to like his, 80-degree temperature, 100-degree temperature, and we're just ready to roll, dude. So I think my prediction, Real Salt Lake, it's a slippery ball, though.
Yo, slippery.
2-0.
Deflections.
2-0.
See, I'm going 3-2. I guess you be a little
Wow.
closer.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
You
All right, let's
should look
go. Let's
closer.
go around the board and we'll wrap this one up. You said 3-2.
Yeah,
I said
RSL
2-0.
in favor.
RSL favor. Alex. Oh, Alex is the voice of reason.
Look, no, and
He's
they,
gonna say
they
that.
have, no,
Listen,
no,
Sounds like LA going, look,
Yeah,
look.
bro, you've been hanging around them too long.
Austin's basically the same exact 11 that they had last year. It was a very good 11. But they've started the season off so rough. And I think a lot of it has to do with their backline injuries. They're coming into this one without center backs. They're playing their wing backs as center backs. I think they're in such a funk of being like, the underdog last year. You remember that with
Yeah.
Felipe? I think
Yeah,
they're in
ridiculous.
such that funk that they're starting off the season really bad. Obviously, they just got embarrassed in the Dominican. I'm going to go RSL 2-1 win.
Wow. You believe, but you don't believe that hard.
I'm going to go 2-1 win.
All right.
I'm going to say 3-0.
I love it.
3-0.
3-0.
3-0, bro. Because Isaac, who invented the snow, bro?
Salt Lake City, Utah, my boys. We did.
That's right.
RSL actually invented the snow. It never snowed in Utah until RSL was founded.
Oh, wow. In 2005?
Yeah, 2005 was the first snowstorm.
That's the first time I remember it snowing.
I love this Utah off we're having.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, bro, our motto is like Ski Utah.
Yeah.
We got license
The greatest
plates.
snow on earth.
Greatest snow on earth,
It is
dude.
the greatest snow on earth, though.
What other mottos do we have around snow? Like the best powder in the world.
Greatest snow on earth.
Same thing.
Oh, is that what you said? All right, dude.
I love,
you know, that's
I love Tired Andy.
the greatest snow on earth, though, bro. That's just like a play on the greatest show on earth, Barnum and Bailey, the circus.
Yeah, dude, the snow is our circus.
Yeah.
We invented the circus.
This is our circus. Real Salt Lake's going to take the win over Austin FC. Thanks for listening. RSL show on KSL Sports. Take it easy. We'll see you guys. Love you. Also, hey, go defend the fan who got choked. Go on Twitter. Go on Instagram. Talk air your frustration. Vent your frustration towards Seattle. And just tag at Seattle the whole time.
That's right.
Take it easy.